Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Legends video, and in this video we are going to take a look at the full power battle against Broly. So obviously they recently made some changes to full power battle, which is something that's pretty interesting, and they do mention it in the information. So they recently did make full power battles a little bit easier. We'll see how much easier they are. Comparatively, to essentially what we had before. In terms of full power battle, it's pretty straightforward. You can see the changes here as well, so that's pretty good. But there are three difficulties. You got normal, you got hard, you got scream. On each difficulty, you get 1000 Z power for a free-to-play unit, which is still a little bit, meh. But you also get a whole bunch of anniversary medals, and you also get a whole bunch of hoi poi capsules, which is great. This is all good stuff. The rewards from that perspective are pretty good. So for me, I personally really quite like it. I do enjoy those rewards. I think they're good rewards. I think the event itself needs a bit of tuning, and maybe we'll see if it's gotten better. That would be quite interesting to see. Obviously, how it works is you have 4 teams that you build based on a set requirement. So the first team is Son Family. I'm going to be using SS3 Legends Limited Goku. It's not the brand new one, unfortunately. It's the old one, and he's not even Zenkai. So I think it's fair to use him. Basically, I'm not using something too overpowered. Try and also select friends. They do help. They give you a lot of boost. You can see here they give me about 70,000 power overall. So if you have 4 good friends, that's another 200, 300k that you can kind of ring up on top of your team's power overall. Then we've got movie heroes. Here, obviously, just be careful of when you use auto select. I use auto select just for these kind of display videos, and then I get really kind of into it later on. If I go for the higher difficulties. I'm using the free-to-play Gogeta here because I just think he's really, really solid. He also comes with a battle bonus comparative to Cooler, and I'm actually going to be using Gogeta as my main unit for the event itself. So I'm going to be using Gogeta. Again, just select your comrade. This category is obviously Saga from the movies, so that's obviously translated to Dokkan, movie heroes, but it's basically just characters that are based on the movies or come from the movies. The third category is extreme powerful opponents. There's not a lot of crazy options here, but there is this free-to-play, this Bojack that drops from the event. So you can use Bojack, but you can also use any of the extreme Saiyans, like Vegeta or Nappa or Raditz. That they have a Zenkai Awakening as well. And then you have the event exclusive tab. So we have this Gohan. He's currently from the Legends Road event. I haven't worked on him at all, but also just try and bear in mind when you are doing this that you do want to use this as an opportunity to soul boost units in your box. You want to try and train units, make sure that they're max level. You want to soul boost them. It's going to give you a big advantage. So go through your teams, make sure that every unit in your teams that you've selected as a support is soul boosted, etc. What I'm going to do is I will jump back in, obviously once I have soul boosted Gohan and also raised him up to 7-star, and then we'll use him. And you can see the biggest change in the power level here. So we had 7.7 million, obviously Broly's at about 13 million, and there are battle bonus characters. The battle bonuses will increase based obviously on which characters they are. But they did increase the options a little bit, although I do think they could have made them a bit more, as usual. I always feel like having more battle bonus characters is not an issue. So you can see we've come back. You can see the power has changed to 8.3 million. That's because I soul boosted Gohan and raised his stars to 7 as well. We gave him more equipment as well. So just overall, he's obviously looking a lot better. A lot stronger, a lot better, just better overall. We're going to do the event. We're going to use the purple Gogeta. Just a heads up, when you are taking on full power battle, it is very different to hyperdimensional co-op or worldwide raids. So in hyperdimensional co-op, you get basically events whereby you want to use your Rising Rush when you break the boss's shield. This is the inverse in Full Power Battle. In Full Power Battle, basically what you want to do is you want to save your Rising Rush and you want to save your all-out attacks and use those during the phase when the boss's shield is up, because you need to knock down the boss's shield, otherwise he does a huge amount of AoE damage to you. Previously, the boss could evade Rising Rushes and other attacks. They've reduced that now. I think they can't evade Rising Rushes or all-out attacks, and they will just vanishing step a little bit less, which is pretty good. I know it was quite annoying. They've also reduced the amount that the boss will enter the limit phase. Before, you were facing it like 3 or 4 times. So before the boss enters the limit phase, he'll do this, where he'll spark these attacks, and essentially you'll have to evade backwards and forwards. The AI is probably going to get hit a lot, so just keep that in mind, that there is a little bit of RNG, because they are probably going to get hit. As you can see, I've saved the all-out strike attack and the all-out key attack for this exact moment. The all-out attacks are designated by having a little glowing yellow ring around them, like a little shining light around them. And you can see that they're kind of these little mini games that you play. I do like this. Like I do find Full Power Battle to be quite enjoyable, and I actually think that the changes they made are pretty good. This is normal difficulty, of course, but it is pretty good. I think the changes have been really nice. I think it's all really solid, and I think it's all like just that little bit better, that the normal difficulty is an enjoyable hard experience. It was still quite tough, but this is actually a victory that I did on the first try, which is is unusual for Full Power Battle, at least it was previously. I also don't have full bonus boost characters as well, so it's actually a pretty solid attempt. I think it's very fair. Obviously hard will be quite substantially more difficult, and Scream will as well, where I'll either need to pick up better units, or I'll have to obviously work on equipment, or just work on my teams, my builds, my whole tactics, and that's okay. I think overall it's pretty well done. You can still see the AI is dying as well. It's not like the AI is essentially super intelligent. I don't know if that improves with the difficulties either, but they are pretty bad. What you need to be careful of is your DPS at this point. The boss will enter a second phase. You need to make sure that you evade these attacks. If you don't evade these attacks, you are going to take too much damage, and you're not going to be able to do any damage. You're going to lose too many bosses. Then, of course, you want to try and do as many attacks as possible. All-out attacks are great because they pause the timer on the boss's like whole limit break mechanic. So they do damage while pausing the timer. So you want to do all-out attacks. If you can get your second Rising Rush, try and get it. You can kill the boss during this phase. He's not immune to damage. So we are going to defeat Broly here by bringing him down to 0, which is pretty good. So overall, I think the changes to Full Power Battle were better, are good. I think normal difficulty is a lot more accessible to players than it was before. And I think a lot of them are good. I think this is better. This is a good space for normal difficulty Full Power Battle to be in. I think players should be able to, they get a good taste of what Full Power Battle is. They get some rewards, and it still requires you to invest in your team. Like, I still would have had to soul boost my characters, raise my characters, level my characters. So I think it's overall a very good space. But yeah, 100%. Definitely think this is a much improved Full Power Battle. That's generally all the tips and tricks I can give you, and just a guide on the event. But good luck, guys. Let me know how it goes. Let me know if you're having trouble still. Maybe I can help you. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.